Last Thursday, I went to the shelter. I wanted to save a deaf dog. So the woman met me there. She's like, "You want to save a deaf dog?" I said, "Oh, yes, I would like to save one." She said, "Do you have the required paperwork?" That means, I said, "No." I said, "What do you mean?" She said, "Well, you have to have the authorization to adopt a deaf dog." I said, "Oh, no, I don't have anything." She said, "Well, you need a form. It's a 501c3, and you also have to have a letter from the president of the shelter agency authorizing you to adopt a deaf dog." I said, "Oh, okay. What does it mean to rescue a dog?" She said, "Well, what it means is a lot of times deaf dogs, people, they don't really want them. Nobody wants them, So, because their behavior is just, they don't listen. They practice with them, but they won't focus. There's something off. They're just not sure what it is, but something's wrong. So oftentimes they think it's better to euthanize them. But other people will come and say, "No, don't do that. I'll take the dog." And they take it and they advertise and they go ahead and rescue the dog, try to find someone to adopt it. Doesn't mean they take it home to keep it. They just take the dog out of the shelter, and then later they inform the agency that, they have a deaf dog, and then it becomes the agency's responsibility to find, an adoptive person for that dog. So they'll take the dog, they'll practice with it, train it, and when that becomes successful, they'll teach it to obey commands, make sure it's eating right, get it to where it's comfortable with children. That's very important. And then later, the agency will find adoptive parents to adopt the dog. Now, there is a difference between rescuing and adopting. When you adopt a dog, there has to be an evaluation. Is the dog good with children? Does it like to ride in a car? Does it not like to ride in a car? Does it like to be close to other dogs? Or not? Does it like to be around other people? They will do an in-depth evaluation on its health, and if it passes all the tests, and the behavior is good, then that dog can be classified, as adoptable, which means that, people can come in, they look at the dog, see which one they want, they find one that they like, they want to adopt that one, that's, great. They go fill out the paperwork, they'll come back and they can take the dog home. You're not required to have a 501c3 form for adoption, and you do not have to have authorization from the president. It's not needed for that. They pass the test, that's the only requirement. You can fill out the paperwork and, you can take the dog home. Now, sometimes, if a dog does not pass those tests, there's really, no hope for them. We try our best to save every dog that we can. We give it our best effort. It's very important to know that we try. We really do try. We put forth the best effort. But sometimes, our efforts do fail. Some dogs slip through the cracks. We can't save them all, consequently. It's just the same as if, somebody is, having a heart attack. They rush them to the hospital, they try to fix them, they do surgery, they do whatever they, need to do, sometimes, that's successful and sometimes it's not, sometimes people make it, sometimes they pass away, and that's the same way with deaf dogs. But we do try our best. We want to encourage you, to search and, evaluate what it means to rescue a dog, And it's important for us to find good matches for the dogs. We don't just want to put them in any home. It's important that they fit with the family. But it's the agency's responsibility to find adoptive parents. They can't save every dog, but they try to. They inform the proper people to try to get the dog adopted. It's very important to have your paperwork filled out as well. If you're going to rescue, you need the 501c3 and the president's letter for rescuing only. And for adoption, they need to pass the test. You can adopt anytime and you don't need the papers.